Going on, everybody? So today I got a fun project to work on. I got the 2.4 liter. It's a Chrysler 200 four banger, nothing real special. So here's the deal. My car wants to turn over. I wouldn't say turn over. You turn the key and it just keeps clicking. You know, obviously I'm pretty sure that's the starter. I've had issues before in the past, and it's been the starter that does that stuff. So I want to try to help people out who maybe are going through the same thing like I have, and they don't know what's going on, or maybe they want to change it themselves because, you know, you can't really afford to take it to a mechanic, or it's just not that complicated to do it and you don't want to spend a couple extra hundred just to have somebody else do it. And if you got the tools and the time, you want to get your hands a little dirty, more power to you. So this is what we're working with right here. This is a good old starter. It's actually not that complicated to take out. Honestly, it's pretty simple in my opinion. I've had other starters that I've had to take out and it's not fun to mess with. So first things first, try not to judge my car. It's a little dirty. Obviously I've got some stuff leaking out that since I pulled hoses off, and I live on a dirt road. It's hard to keep things clean. So you want to disconnect your battery. You know, people positive, negative, whatever you want, they both don't matter. It's going to turn the power off anyways. So what I did, just to make things easier, I went ahead and took we were going to have to anyways, take the hose off of your air intake, little box over here. This is definitely not stock. I went ahead and put a filter on it myself, just because, in my opinion, it helps car run a little bit better. I'm not a mechanic, but I have noticed a little bit better gas miles and all that. Where I live at, you're probably gonna have to change it out more often. And on top of that, it kind of sounds a little cooler. Yeah, it's a four banger, so who cares? I'm not trying to make it into a hot rod, street rod, whatever. I got other cars for that. But anyways, so you'll take that hose off, and then you're gonna want to take the hose that runs from your radiator here, that goes into your thermostat there, and then take off the throttle body, this little bad boy right here. It's just going to be so much more convenient for you when you try to slide that starter out of there. There's 4 bolts that hold it in. 10mm socket, that's what I use to get them off. And then here's that plate that's going to be over the top of it. That I used a 13mm socket for that, just to get that off. And then there's 2 bolts that will hold the starter in place, and they are going to be 15mm sockets themselves. Like I said, it's not too complicated. So you'll take that throttle body off of there once you get all these hoses and stuff out of your way, and then you're going to want to take, here is the that 16mm socket that I was telling you about, or 15, sorry. 15 there, and then there's going to be that 13 one right here that's just going to hold that plate on. And then right there at the bottom of it, you can where my finger is, this thing hose out of the way, maybe a better angle of it. Let's see, right there, so that'll be your other 15mm. You'll take those off. You're going to want to disconnect it, obviously, because you can't get it out. This is a 12mm, I want to say. You're going to need a deep socket. I just used pliers and just popped it free. And then on the back of it, there's that little clip thing there. That you should just slide right off. It'll look, there's that one that, you know, that's on the back of it with that 12. And then this is the little clip thing there. I just push down and slide out. Be careful because it seems very fragile. Almost started hearing it crack a little bit, which that would suck. More problems to try to deal with later if you break that. But yeah, and then so this, let's get it started here. The starter is going to kind of pretty much sit like this up in there. And, you know, the top there is going to be one of your bolts, and then the bottom is going to be the other one. And then what I did is I just pushed it out as far back as I could, turned it at an angle kind of like this, and then just kind of slowly started to wiggle it out. You're gonna have to move it around a little bit. It's really not hard, and it did not take much time. I'd say once you got the new one and all that, 20-30 minute job at most. Obviously, I'm going to do some cleaning up, get the shop vac and try to get some of this antifreeze out of the way, clean it up a little bit, get down in there, clean that up too, just because, you know, we don't want dirt and all this stuff sitting up on it and building up. My thermostat's leaking, and I think maybe that's what caused my starter to go bad. Hitting the wires and stuff kind of eroded them. Then again, it's got 160,000 miles on the car, so starters, you know, around that time start going bad. Same with the alternators and your, you know, your 17 belt over here, all that good stuff. You know, we just replaced the alternator not too long ago. I know it's not the battery that was causing my problems, because none of the lights dimmed, everything was good. It's got good, you know, ground connection, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's definitely going to be the starter. Get that put back in. Another thing while I'm down here, I'm going to show some people. I don't know if this is common with this dang car, but it's been my problem too with it, is that the thermostat right in here, right in that area, let's load that hose, always wants to seem to leak. I don't know if the plastic is cheap, and where I live out here in Missouri, it gets some cold weathers, and I don't know if it cracks it. Whatever it is, it's the second one I'm gonna have to replace. They're not hard. They've got two hoses in the front that connect, and then you got your two in the back right there that connect, and then there is 3 bolts that will hold it in. Got one there, and then one back here by my paper towel. Get out of the way. Right there, and then there's gonna be one kind of hidden. It's gonna be right in there, just under this little round thing. You can feel it when you go back in there and get it out. It's pretty simple. Pop it out, clean the side of the motor, just that way when you put the new one back in, it's flush. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I just do a lot of stuff myself. Try to, at least. Some people, this is not fascinating. They don't give two craps about fixing their car, doing it, all that. Just take it to a mechanic. If you got money and you want to do that, go for it. Even if I had money, I'd probably still try to do things myself, just because it's kind of the person I am. Doesn't make you any more or less of a person. We all have our things we like to do and things we don't like to do, and I'm not gonna lie, some of these things on these cars I do not want to mess with, just because I don't have the tools and the proper training to do it. But yeah, I hope this helps anybody. You know, like I said, kind of the signs that I feel like lead to a starter is that when you're trying to turn your key over, all you keep hearing is that maybe a one click, or maybe a click, 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 click. Nothing comes on. That's kind of, it could be other things. Obviously, it could, you know, could have bad ground connection somewhere. Something's not getting enough power. Your starter relay's not, fuse may be bad, or you're not getting enough connection through your starter, through the wiring and all that. Like I said, there's just, cars are cars, and you never know exactly what's wrong with them. But in my case, I'm about 98.9% confident that it's the starter. Let's just hope that is. Otherwise, I'll just have a brand new starter sitting in my car, and we'll have to figure out where to go from there. So yeah, like I said, man, good luck to anybody that's trying to work on the project that I'm working on. All right, peace.